Hello, WK03 here again. This is my personal project for the CSE 341 class. And in this project, I'll be creating an event planner API that performs CRUD operations on a Mongo database. This API will have roles for create, update, and delete functionalities with proper validation and handling error. This project will be published to render, and API documentation will be created to demonstrate its usage. So the first thing I did was I initialized my Node.js project by running npm init-y to create a package.json. So it brought this out for me. So after that, I then installed all the necessary packages that I'm going to be needing. I installed all this necessary packages, and then it brought out the node modules and this package lock.json. As you can see, I have all my packages here. So after that, I then set up my project structure with this. So after setting up my project structure, that's the controller, the database, the routes, and the server.js. Then I went to my MongoDB. Then I went to my MongoDB. I created this database and collections. So this is the collections. Here they are. This is the information, and this is for the users. So this is what we are going to be working with. So here I implemented my info.js in my controllers folder. As you can see, I exported the MongoDB here, and then here is the get all informations, and this is the get information by ID. Here we have it, and this is the create events, that's also known as the post. So here I actually implemented an error that is going to require all fields, that if all the fields mentioned here are not there when you're trying to run it, it's not going to work. It's going to show you this error. But if everything is correct, it's going to say event created, and if there's an error, it's going to say error creating event. So I did the same thing for the update event, which is also the put. As you can see right here, and also the delete event. Did the same thing for my second collection, also here right here. And then this is my database here. So here's my MongoDB URL that I got straight from my Mongo Compass. So I pasted it in my .env, and then from there I transferred it in here because my .env is private, and it's right here hidden in my gitignore with my node modules here. So after getting this, I linked it right here. I linked it in my controllers. As the info and the user. And then after doing that, in my routes, I linked my controllers to my routes. So this is everything, and this is the second collection for the routes. And then this is the index. This is where I actually, from these two, I then like transferred everything, like very short code right here, implemented it right here. So this is it. And then this is my server.js that is going to run everything for me on the ports. So here I am going to show you how it works. So I'm going to say no server.js. So as you can see, it says the server is running on port. First, I'm going to show you how it is on my local host in the browser. Okay, I'm going to open it right here in my browser. I'm going to say local host 5000. And you see when I click it, it says hello world. And then for first collection info. So here you see it brings it all out. So I'm going to say select by ID. Okay, let me try to select by this ID. And I'm going to paste the ID right here and run it. And you see it brings out the ID that I selected. And so I'm going to do the same thing for the second collection, that's the users. And see, this is our users. And I'm going to do the same thing. Let me select the second ID. Paste, and you see it brings out the second ID. Now to make it very easy for us, so we don't have to always go to the browser, we're going to test everything in the REST client. So this is my REST client. This helps me so that I don't need to go to the browser all the time to test my work. So here I'm going to test it out on my REST client, and you see it brings the same thing right out. And I'm going to show you my Mongo, so we can see that it's exactly the same thing there on my database. So here, as you can see, it checks out. As you can see, that's everything on my database. So next thing I'm going to do is get events by ID. So I already selected this ID right here. So now I am going to send the request, and we'll see it brings it out just that. Okay. So the next thing that I am going to do is post a new information. So we're going to go back right here. As you can see, there is no birthday party right here. So now I am going to create a new event information, which is a party. So now I'm going to post it, and I'm going to send a request for all of the information. Let's see. So you can see now we have a birthday party right here. So if I want to make a change, like if I want to update one of the fields right here, I'm just going to say, okay, let me just change this location from just Nigeria. Let me say change it from just Nigeria to Port Harcourt, Nigeria. So right here, I'm going to
copy the ID right here and paste it here so that it knows the ID to actually update, so that it knows the correct ID to update. So I'm going to say Port Harcourt. Alright, so I'm going to send a request now. So we see it says information updated successfully. So now I'm going to go back to get all information, and you can see it's changed from just to Port Harcourt. So we are going to check our changes. We're going to check our changes, that's these two, in the mobile database. So I'm going to refresh right here. So here
we have our new documents right here. So now we're going to test this delete function. So now I want to delete this birthday party. So I'm going to click the ID, copy it, and then I'm going to paste it right here, and then send the request. And here it says event information successfully deleted. So I'm going to go back, and you can see there is no birthday party right here anymore. So I want to test, before I go to the second collection, that's user collection, I want to test out this. I want to test out this post event. So here I actually implemented an error that says all fields are required. So I want to test this right out. So I am going to just to test it out, I'm going to let me take out the budgets in this place. So I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to send a request. So here it says all fields are required, error. So it doesn't work. It doesn't send because there is an error right there. So that's it. Now we're going to test the user collection. So right here is our users collection. Get request by ID. So let's see this one. You see, it brings it right out. So let's post. This is all the get users. So we have just two right here. So now let's post a new user. That's the organizer. We have the admin and we have the regular user. So now I want to add the organizer. So I'm going to send a request, and here we have it. It says new user added. What's the user ID? And then I'm going to check the get all users, and you can see we have it right here. We have a new user right here. Okay, so now I'm going to test my update function. As we can see right here, it says not active. Now I want to update it to the user is active. So I'm going to say the user is active, and I'm going to send request. Here's the code for it. Here's the update user code. So I'm going to send the request, and it says user updated successfully. Now we are going to check it out in the get all user. Okay, where is it? Okay, here it is. So now we're going to check it out in the get all users. So now we can see it says active. So now we've updated this user to active. So now I'm going to test the delete function. So I'm going to copy the code that the ID that we're going to be deleting. So, okay, so I'm going to paste the ID right here and then send the request. And you can see it says user deleted successfully. Now we're going to check it out and see if it's really deleted. So here we have it. It's no longer here right now. So this is my swagger.js. So here I have my information, users API description, and localhost 5000. So here my output file is a swagger.json, which I created in this routes. So here we have it. This Swagger UI Express, and I actually installed it. This too, the Swagger AutoGen and Swagger UI Express. I installed it in my packages. So this is what is going to make my Swagger function. So as you can see, my Swagger AutoGen is right here. So after creating this Swagger.js right here, created a Swagger.js in the routes. So after doing that, I actually just typed not Swagger.js, and then it brought out the Swagger.json for me. This is everything. So now we are going to test this API doc right here in the browser. So now my server is running. So I am going to localhost 5000. And I'm going to say API docs. Here we have it. So we can see this is the info collection, and we also have the user collection right here too. So let's test our get all users for the info collection. You can see it brings out all the right here. So next thing, let's test the get user by ID. So I'm going to go right here and copy any ID of my choice. Just basically the same thing that I did in the REST client. So basically the same thing I did in the REST client. So I'm going to try it out, and then I'm going to paste the ID right here. And here we have it. It brings out the ID. So now I'm going to test the put information. So I'm going to try it out. Remember, the put information is the update information when we need the ID of whatever we want to update. So let me update this corporate conference. So I'm going to copy it all because I do not want to be, typing it one by one. And so I'm going to update whatever I want to update. So let's say I want to, from 1 million, let's say I want to increase the budget to 1.5 million. So I increase the budget from 1 million to 1.5 million. Now we're going to execute this. Okay. Execute. So here, it's been updated. So now I'm going to check it right out in the gets all info. So I'm going to try it out again just to see if it has been updated. Execute. So now we're going to check it out. And you see we increased it from 1 million to 1.5 million. So the next one we're going to try out is the post. So now we are going to test the post in the info collection. Let's say dinner party. All right. So now let's put it in. We're going to execute it. And you can see it's right here. So now I'm going to check the get info to see if we have our new event information. So here we have it right here. So now we are going to test the delete function. Now we're going to test the delete function. I'm going to copy the ID right here, and then I'm going to go to the delete. Yeah, the delete. Try it out, and I'm going to paste the ID right here. And you see it says event information deleted successfully. So now I'm going to go right here to the get all information, execute it again, and then here we have it. The dinner party is no longer here anymore. So I'm going to do the same thing for the user collection now. I'm done with the info collection. I'm going to do the same thing for the user collection right here. So I'm going to click on get, try it out, and execute. Here we have it right here. And then I'm going to go over to the post. So now I want to post a new user. Let's say this new username is Ken Morris. So say not active. So now I am going to execute this right here. Let's see what it says. See, it says new user added. So I'm going to go back to the get all users. I'm going to go back to get all users, and I'm going to try it out again and execute again. And here we have it. Ken Morris with a new ID. So now I am going to copy this ID. And the next thing we are going to try is we are going to try to update this ID. I can actually choose anyone, but I just decided to choose this one. So now we are going to update this ID. Try it out. And then I am going to paste right there. And Okay, and I also changed the time. So now we are going to execute this. Here you see the feedback says user updated successfully. And then I am going to execute this again. And here we have it. It's changed. And now I am going to delete one of these users. First, I'm going to copy the ID of the user that I want to take out. And then I'm going to go over to the delete user. Try it out and paste the ID right here. And here's the feedback. It says user deleted successfully. Now I'm going to execute this again one more time. And you can see it's no longer here. It's gone. Okay, so now that this all works well, I'm going to deploy this to my render. So to do that, first I am going to commit this code. I'm going to commit everything. Sorry, that's just how I commit, so I don't forget. So I like to commit and push up once. So after doing that, I'm going to go over to my render. And I'm going to click in add new web service, and I'm going to click on the project that I am working on. As you can see, it says seconds ago. That means I just committed seconds ago. So I'm going to click it, and then I'm going to click on connect. So I'm going to name it. I'm clicking connect. Obviously, it's Node. Yeah, it's main. Install. Yeah, not server.js. Not server.js. It is. And free. Sorry, I'm using the free. So I'm going to add my env here, and there's nothing else for me to auto deploy. I'll click on no so that I can deploy it by myself. And then I'm going to deploy this. So I'm going to wait for it to be. Yeah, so now the site is live. So after creating my project on render, I copied my link, and I went over here, I moved the HTTP and I left over the HTTPS, and then my host, I changed it from the local host to my render URL. So that was what I did. So now let us test this. Let us test our render on the REST clients. So let's test it on the REST clients. So I'm going to say Nord. So you see everything all works here. Basically the same thing. Same thing for the users collection too, with our render link. So you see it does the same thing. So now we are going to test this on our render itself. We don't need that anymore since we've deployed it already to our render. So we can just use or rather to actually check everything all out. So now we're going to test this ladder. So now we're going to execute. So we're going to check it out. You can see it's right there. So now we're going to go to the next one, which is the put. And then we're going to try it out. I don't have time to type, so I'm going to just copy and paste. And I'm going to click the ID. And then we can execute. What do I want to change? I still want to change the location from Nairobi, Kenya to AKT, Nigeria. And then I'm gonna, yeah, you can see it says information updated successfully. So now I'm gonna execute this again so that it updates the documents. And you can see we have it here, AKT Nigeria. So just, I would like to show you my MongoDB to show you that everything actually works on my MongoDB. All the changes I make actually displays on my MongoDB. So I'm going to show you that. So you can see, we're going to check the documents. Just raise it a little bit. You can see charity fundraiser. So you can see we have the dinner party here, it's in Nigeria. Good. So now, where's my plugin? Yeah, so now I want to delete this. Copy. I want to delete it now, so I'm going to go to the delete, and then I'm going to try it out, and I'm going to paste the ID and execute it. So it says event information successfully deleted. Now I'm going to check it out on here to see if it worked. So you can see it's no longer here anymore. So now I'm going to check it out on my MongoDB too. Refresh. This dinner party is not going to be there anymore. So you can see we don't have it anymore here. The dinner party is no longer there. It's no longer there. So that means everything is working. So next we're going to try the users info. We're going to try the user info. Basically the same thing. Execute. So here we have it. So now I am going to maybe just create a new one. Try it out. Let's execute it and see if it's going to work. So here we have it. It says new user added. So now I'm going to check it out around the get all users. So here we have a Christian company as an organizer. He's signing as an organizer and not active. So now we're going to test out the put as the update. I don't want to type again, so I'm just going to copy and paste. Oops, it's a mistake. Copy. Put. Yeah, so I'm going to try it out and I'm going to paste. And then I'm going to go copy the ID. So what do I want to change here? Okay, I want to say Christian company is active. Okay, at the moment, and I want to change the date and time. I say he's active by 12:45. Um, you're still an organizer. So now we're going to execute this and see. This is successfully updated. So I'm going to execute the get all users again. So you can see we have it here. He is now active by 12:45. Okay, so now I am going to, first of all, copy. And I'm going to then, first of all, get user by ID. Let's see if this is going to work. Paste. And you see, this brings it out. Okay, now I want to test this on my MongoDB if it's actually working. So I'm going to click on users. It's loading data. So as you can see, we have Christian company here also in our MongoDB. That means it actually works. So now I'm going to use the last function, which is the delete function. So now I want to take out the Christian company from the user collection. So I'm going to paste and execute. And then it says user successfully deleted. So I'm going to go to the get all users to see if it has really been deleted. Here, we don't have it anymore. So just to confirm, I'm going to go to my MongoDB to see if Christian company has been deleted there also. Here are my users. So here, there is no longer a Christian company as a user here anymore. So that means my code functions properly and correctly. Thank you.